Our first presenter has been with us since the very beginning. Mr. Dan Wurtele is a fantastic Vancouver real estate agent that specializes in investors and other properties as well. He's an accredited real estate investment advisor with over 9 years as membership in the RAIN group, and runs a very successful real estate investment Facebook page called Vancouver Real Estate Investors, and hosts a successful investor podcast. Dan, welcome.
Thank you so much. That was a very great introduction. Really appreciate it, Roland. All right, are we doing a screen share or how do we jump into...
You talk and I'll drive.
Okay, great. Well, yeah, Roland, I have nothing to add to that as far as an introduction. So let's just jump right into the presentation here. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining us.
Can you see the slide?
I cannot.
Can everyone else see it?
I can see your slide. They're just a little cut off on the left side, Roland.
Okay, I see it.
You see it? Wonderful.
Yeah. Okay, let's jump into this. So the area I'm talking about today is Parksville, BC. So for those of you who may not be super familiar with this, it is on Vancouver Island. It is about a 30-minute drive north of Nanaimo. Population there about 12,500. The economic drivers for Parksville are the service industry, construction, and business and financial. As many of you have probably heard, there's been a lot of activity and a lot of attention on Vancouver Island last couple of years. And so much so that a lot of people are being either priced out of or looking to sort of the auxiliary cities, you know, outside of Nanaimo, outside of Victoria. So Parksville is the closest city outside of Nanaimo. Recent stats, detached home sales, they're up 158% from last year. We've seen an average price jump of 9% over the last 12 months. And if you can believe this, there's less than 1 month of inventory left in Parksville right now. That means if no new homes came on for sale, Parksville would be completely sold out before Christmas. And on the rental side, it's sitting at under a 1% vacancy rate. Next slide, please.
1 second. Oh, there we go.
Okay, so the property we're looking at today is 4033 Allview Lane. This is a brand new 3-bed, 3-bath plus a legal 1-bed, 1-bath suite. All in, the home's about 3,200 square feet and it sits on a half-acre parcel. There are some partial ocean views as well. It comes with a 4-car garage, which can also be utilized as a workshop, which I'll get into in a sec here. And there's also RV parking. So there is some potential for revenue from either parking an RV on there, maybe a boat with a trailer, that type of thing. There are 11 lots in a Bearland strata, and they pitch in $25 each, and that maintains the common septic. This property can be picked up for about $825,000 GST inclusive of that. Looking at the income now, the main home would get $2,000 per month. The 1-bedroom legal suite, you would achieve $1,300 per month, and the RV parking in and around $150 per month. So that gives you a gross monthly income of about $3,450. To operate this investment, monthly costs are insurance of about $150, property tax $190, and yes, it's a brand new home and it will come with that 2-5-10 warranty, but let's put in a 2% repairs and maintenance budget to start putting money aside for that now, about $70 per month. As mentioned earlier, this does have that Bearland strata fee of about $25. Utilities, I've budgeted $100 per month, but of course this could be negotiated with your tenants. And vacancy rate, again, it's sitting under 1%, but I like to play on the side of caution and I've built in a 3% vacancy rate here, leaving a total monthly operating cost of $635 per month. So your cash flow, we realize we have $3,450 in gross rents, expenses at $635. A mortgage on this property, budgeted 1.89% or estimated that with a 30-year AM. That puts you at $2,400 per month. So all in, you are then left with about $414 per month positive cash flow. To purchase this, minimum 20% down payment of $165,000, transfer tax at $14,000, an inspection of around $600, your legal costs at $1,500, and it's always a good idea, of course, to have a bit of reserve fund, so $10,000 set aside for that. That means to add this property to your portfolio, you'd be looking at an initial investment of about $192,000. So the question is, what does that give you? Well, this is obviously a bit of a safer, sort of a lower risk kind of turnkey investment and such. The cap rate's going to be lower. So an as-is tenanted property, this gives you a cap rate of around 4.1, cash on cash about 2.6%. So to simply hold this property and sell it after 10 years, again, as a 10-year-old property, I think this will still be very attractive to a lot of people. I've targeted a 3% appreciation rate. Yes, it got 9% last year, but I don't think that's going to sustain. So 2019, for example, was 3%. So if this home were to average 3% appreciation rate, it would have a market value and sale price of around 1.1 million. After your sales costs, this would turn a profit of about $492,000. That's a total ROI of 257% or 25% annualized. Quick little analysis on this one. On the strength side, again, brand new property, you're covered by the warranty, it should be low maintenance. It does have the multiple revenue streams. It is in a city that is targeted as to grow and has good economic fundamentals. It is a cash flow positive property today. On the weakness side, yeah, it's a small city, right? There's only about 12,000 to 13,000 people there. That does have inherent risks. And it is out of the GVRD, right? This is not a property you can drive 15, 20 minutes and go check up on it. I have budgeted this or created this pro forma with it being self-managed, right? Because of course, if you go and add in the 10% property management that it costs over there, you're eating largely into your cash flow. So this is one that you would have to plan to probably go and visit, every 3 to 6 months. On the opportunity side, I think a large tenant profile, right? The people that are attracted to the Parksville area are retirees, young professionals, and I think both sides would really enjoy this property. Sitting on that half acre, I do believe there to be potential future subdivision opportunities there. This property is on RS2 zoned land, so you can actually build multifamily on this in the future. Oh, I also wanted to touch on this too. A client of mine who owns a property in Nanaimo, it had a 2-car garage attached to it, and he just converted it to kind of a suite. Now, this is not obviously with a full kitchen as there's no venting, but he's got a hot plate in it. It's 220 square feet. And if you can believe this, he's renting it out for $1,050 per month. And that's Nanaimo. So again, maybe you take 2 of the 4-car garage spots, convert that to a suite, or even convert it to a workshop. I think there's potential for further cash flow there. On the threat side, tourism is largely driven in Parksville. So, we don't know when tourism is coming back. And of course, let's say Nanaimo starts to rezone and densify and make housing a little bit more affordable. That may attract people to stay closer to the bigger cities as opposed to looking for outlying areas to live in. That is basically my presentation. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like to learn any more about myself or the type of properties that I offer clients, please have a look at thevancouverlife.com.